Francesca Evans with the latest news and sport from the Lyme Regis area. The Ship Inn in Coombe Street, Lyme Regis has reopened with new landlords at the helm. Musician Ben Gittins has swapped the stage for Pulling Pints alongside long-term partner Grace Gray, reopening the Palmer's Brewery pub after a closure period of several months. Having moved from Twickenham in London, the young couple opened the pub over the Easter weekend and have said they are keen to throw themselves into community life, starting with a full programme of celebrations for the King's coronation weekend. Having been given a record deal at the age of 19, Ben has worked in the music industry for several years, touring the world with some of the biggest names in rock and roll, including Bruce Springsteen, Debbie Harry and Robbie Williams. His partner Grace has previous experience in the hospitality trade, having chefed under Michelin-starred Marcus Waring, and now works in marketing. Liberal Democrat MP Richard Ford and parliamentary candidate Edward Morello listened to the concerns of residents at a public meeting in Lyme last weekend. Mr Ford, who is MP for the Tiverton and Honiton constituency, which includes Lyme, hosted the meeting at the Village Hall with Mr Morello, West Dorset's parliamentary candidate for the next general election. Residents expressed concerns about the appalling levels of sewage being discharged into the River Lym, the lack of affordable housing, jobs and parking in Lyme Regis, and the sad state of the local bus services. Mr Ford stressed that nearly all the issues raised were cross-county border issues, saying that it was incredibly important that East Devon and West Dorset work together. Lyme Regis residents will be given another opportunity to raise local issues of concern at this evening's annual meeting of electors. The meeting is being held by the Town Council at the Woodmead Halls tonight from 7 p.m. Broadcaster and natural historian Sir David Attenborough is set to present a new BBC documentary unearthing the skull of a giant pliosaur, one of the most ferocious Jurassic predators ever known. Following the success of Attenborough's current series Wild Isles, the BBC has announced plans for a new series with the working title Attenborough and the Giant Sea Monster, which is likely to feature the Jurassic Coast around Lyme Regis and Charmouth. The documentary will follow Sir David as he unearths the discovery of a lifetime, the skull of a giant pliosaur, an enormous prehistoric marine reptile that ruled the seas at the same time dinosaurs reigned on land 150 million years ago. Fossil experts believe this pliosaur to be a completely new species and, working at a secret location, are setting out on an expedition to excavate the skull and uncover the secrets lying deep within. The series will follow the documentary Attenborough and the Sea Dragon, which covered the unearthing of an ichthyosaur on Monmouth Beach in Lyme Regis, which is now on display at Charmouth Heritage Coast Centre. A nationwide emergency alert will set people's phones off for 10 seconds at 3 p.m. on Sunday. This is a test of Emergency Alerts, a new UK government service that will warn you if there's a life-threatening emergency nearby. All compatible iPhones and Android devices, including most mobile phones and tablets, will sound the siren at the same time this weekend. This is a test and you do not need to take any action. Following the test, the government plans to roll out this service to alert people in specific areas about emergencies such as severe flooding, severe weather and fires. However, some have raised concerns that the service could panic vulnerable people, distract or cause safety risks for those driving, and could put those suffering from domestic abuse or violence at risk. The siren will sound even if phones are on silent or do not disturb mode. However, the alarm will not go off if devices are switched off or if you have switched off emergency alerts in the settings. The weather washed out Lyme Regis first team's home game against league leaders Alphington last weekend, and they will be left kicking their heels again tomorrow with no Devon and Exeter Premier fixture. Going 2 weeks without a match will do Lyme no favours, with just 4 games to complete the season. The Seasiders' next game is on Saturday, April 29th, when they travel to Crediton United Seconds, who sit in 9th place, 6 points behind Lyme, but with 3 games in hand. Having no game last week saw Lyme slip out of 4th place, now occupied by close rivals Colleton after their 5-3 victory over Clyst Valley. Lyme have hovered around 4th and 5th place all season, but to finish in the top 4 they have to win all their remaining games, and that's a tall order with upcoming fixtures against league favourites Alphington and Elmore. Whilst the Lyme first team will finish in a respectable place in the Premier Division, it looks like the reserves will be relegated from Division 3. The Seasiders' second string travelled to Bampton on Saturday and were well beaten, conceding 6 goals without reply. Their cause was not helped by the sending off of first teamer Callum Garrett for allegedly manhandling the referee, a decision described as ludicrous by spectators. Tomorrow, the reserves play host to league leaders AFC-X and go into the game firmly entrenched second from bottom in the table, to be followed by just 2 more games, both away to Hemyock and South Seal United. Good news for Up Lyme and Lyme Regis, about to commence their season in the Devon Cricket League C Division East. Alfie Jacks, one of the most respected wicketkeepers in the county, has returned to the area and will be making himself available for the club. Jacks is also an excellent batter and scored 500 runs in his last season for Up Lyme. Together with a number of new signings, including 18-year-old overseas Australian opening bat Preston Hillness, Up Lyme will be one of the favourites to top the C East Division, which they dominated for most of last season, finishing in 3rd place after a nail-biting last game. And finally in sport, to prove that summer is just around the corner, Lyme Regis Bowling Club has started their new season down at the Charlie Mercer Green on Monmouth Beach. The Lyme Regis annual meeting of electors will be held at the Woodmead Halls from 7 p.m. tonight, to which residents are invited to attend and raise any local issues of concern. On Saturday, the Nag's Head in Lyme Regis will host its weekly live music from 9 p.m, and a day of live music will be held on Sunday, including an open mic afternoon followed by jazz in the bar at the Marine Theatre, and a special St George's Day concert hosted by Lyme Bay Choral at St Michael's Parish Church, starting at 4 p.m. Light rain is forecast throughout most of the weekend, including this evening and throughout Saturday, with more sunny spells expected on Sunday. Temperatures are set to reach highs of 12 degrees. Thanks for watching LymeOnline's weekly video bulletins. You can find daily articles on the LymeOnline website throughout the week. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for regular updates, and sign up to our free weekly newsletter to stay on top of all the latest local news. Have a great weekend.